that speaker will be it's online. It will speak to us online. Salvatore. He's an urban planner and designer. He works for the UN Habitat and has experiences in the Middle East and Africa. So let us appreciate him, even if he's not here physically. I'm sure he got that.
Can you hear me? Can you see this, my presentation on the screen?
Yes, we can see your presentation. Proceed.
I'm trying to show my face, but I don't know how.
We wanted to see your face, yes.
Thank you all for inviting me and the presentation. I am Randa, as you Thank you very much for inviting me. As we will be speaking today, as was mentioned by other colleagues, and thanks to Lisa and Clark, I will say quickly for emphasize a little bit more some concepts that we are going to show. When doing this convention, something is very important to happen in Glasgow and actually, whatever has been decided in Glasgow will affect our work in the future and our results. So it's that we have this convention while experts are doing and exposing the roadmap to increase the human interest in crime and to have a more sustainable and
We are requesting your volume. We can't hear you clearly. Your volume is down.
So actually, it's clear for us now at the moment in which we are that the human influence on climate system is clear. It's already known. We also know that also the anthropogenic emissions are high level in history at the moment. So we are really affecting with our human activities the climate. Also, that there is a relation, a high relation between our human activities and natural systems. Of course, there are many things that are happening. We are seeing already in our countries droughts that are actually emerging, and I don't know how to raise my voice from my side, but actually that's wrong. Can you hear me? Is it possible?
Just proceed.
Shout a little bit.
Just proceed. Thank you.
It's okay?
Yes. That's better. Did you hear me?
Okay, so sorry for that. I cannot change at the moment my volume from here. I hope that my presentation is still possible. Can you please tell me if it's working from your end?
Yes, the virtual are hearing you very clearly, and we can also hear you, though not very clearly. Just proceed.
So, sorry for that. I will continue. As it was mentioned before by Jared, but also by Isabel, the problem of integrating management and ecosystem-based planning in our planning activities. Of course, as you see, ecosystems are not limited by administrative boundaries. This is the major problem we have. Everything that we do in Nairobi will affect downstream, the land, the coastal land that is downstream. Because the special plans are always instruments that we use for human activity, as you know, but are, of course, guided by administrative boundaries. Of course, this development because between ecosystems, the same approach to planning and the current way we are planning is existing right now. On the right, you can see this slide, maybe it's not clear, but it's a long list of coral reef connections, land and coral reef connection and impacts categorized by forest, agriculture, urban, and lands. As you see, it's a long list of more than 40 impacts that are linking what is happening on land to the coral reef. And we can discuss about coral reef, but it's also regarding the mangrove, as was mentioned before. So everything is happening on everything that happens on land is affecting quite clearly now, and we know that everything also in the sea. So there is a need for an integrated approach between land and sea planning. In the past we were just planning for land, then we also used, as was mentioned before, the marine component, the marine spatial planning to the picture. But what is still missing at the moment is an integration. That is what the GoBlue project is going to achieve. A full framework that can integrate in the same document the two parts of the picture, the marine and the land. It is important to note, in my opinion, at least I find interesting, that our discipline as urban planners is still using this word in town planner, urban planner. While we already know that our planning activity has to be linked with the analysis of things that are not just included in the boundary. We already know it, but still the name of the discipline is referring to this fast and faster approach to planning. As was mentioned, the GoBlue project will try to integrate different methodologies, different tools, different experience that United and UNEP has been developing through the past related to marine spatial planning. Jared was mentioning the logistics-based management, but also with the coastal management, and with the regional and territorial planning methodologies that, for example, the United has been developing in the past. Also, including in the picture, as was mentioned in Jared's presentation, the need for a blue economy framework. Blue economy was as well as explained the need that the read that we need economic development from human perspective to the security and the preservation of the environment. In this, the community will join experts that are masters in these activities, and we try to elaborate an innovative methodology for both standards and planning. At the moment in this presentation, I will be short. I will focus more on the regional territorial planning, that is the expertise that I have, and present more in detail the spatial development framework that United is using in regional and territorial planning in different countries. It's a framework in order to take decisions. It's a straightforward framework. It's not a plan. It's not an additional plan that we have to add to the plans of existing plans in different countries. And that's been developed in 2011, 2013, in order to provide answers and provide strategies to be more efficient on the ground in that Sudan. Of course, apart from Sudan's experience, what is also applied to other countries, like Uganda, Laos, Mozambique, Cabo Verde, and Sawa, still applied today in other countries. What is the spatial development framework? It's a plan in itself, not really. It's the linking element that is trying to implement national policies and strategies, so the top-level strategies that the county has into the actions in the ground. So it's regional because it's analyzing not only one settlement or a couple of settlements, but a set of settlements together and understanding the reality of the ground that we found. So it is also participatory. It's not a document that is done by a set of consultants alone. It requires, in order to be done totally, through the participation of key local stakeholders, such as national government, local government, in order to support the decision-making process of the framework. The main objective is to prioritize investments after analyzing the relation between different things that are actually exactly the functions, the decisions that are being already made, the policies that we have. So, the spatial development framework actually has three main blocks, three main components. The first one is to understand, used to understand the spatial structure of the territory through a methodology or a method that we call the matrix of functions. The second one is after understanding the territory and using and understanding the relation between human settlements and between the different aspects of the territory, we usually do a spatial multiplier evaluation in order to design and strategize the actions of the ground in the future. And then there is a third component that is related to the harmonization between the planning and the budget and the financial component through online platforms that we are actually developing. All those are steps that are usually done in two consultative workshops. We need, in order to do the framework, the direct implication of different actors at local level. We have to understand the territory with the understanding of the policies and the missions of the national government or the local government. So, what is the matrix of function? Actually, it's important to know that the spatial development framework is not the best option we have in order to do territorial planning. There are many other methodologies that have been developed in the Roman north and with a lot of budget, millions of euros, millions of dollars. The good thing of the spatial development framework is that it's very straightforward. It's really pointing at the implementation of things, at the understanding of things. Can be also done, and that has been the case of many countries in which we have done, can be actually done with the existing data that is on the ground, so not requiring excessive amount of efforts and financial support in order to gather data. The method of function is quite simple. It's a quantitative analysis of the functions that we might find on a specific territory under current analysis. So understanding the different functions that are located spatially on the ground, in the territory, in the region, we understand the relation between functions and the spatial distribution distribution of the different typologies of functions. So we start understanding the correlation between functions that are distributed on the ground. So we also look at the territorial end of this process. We looked at what we call the territorial influence of different things that are on the ground, and we identify clusters that can go together. And Isabel was mentioning before, for example, not all the counties on along the coast of the ocean need to have fisheries, but maybe one can have a fishery and then the other, well connected to infrastructure, can actually develop a facility to process the fish, for example. This is exactly what we are aiming with the spatial development framework. Understanding the relation between different things that are happening on the ground in order to see gaps and in order to, let's say, increase the efficiency of investment in the future. For that, it's not a framework, it's not a plan, it's a framework, it's a sort of base for taking decisions at the result. The second phase, it has to be very short, I know that it's very late now, is the spatial analysis related to the multi-parameters. We analyze and acquire different documents, the policies analysis, the different policies of the national government, and we, through a process led by a specific set of software, we are deciding and we can evaluate best locations for specific functions according to the objective of the policies, but also regarding the nature of the spatial nature of what we have analyzed before on the ground. So, some questions also for you on regarding the implementability of such a framework in the Kenyan context. As you can see in the map, we have 6 countries that will be part of the new framework. So my first question is, given that there is no legal framework at the moment for such a kind of plan, how can we actually think in implementing it on the ground? How do you think, as a planners, the framework can help governors of the 6 countries take decisions? It should be through, for example, approved sequence, so being established as a sort of adopted plan that then are directly influencing the area of plans that are coming in law, such as county spatial plans and licenses, or is something that is a standalone and is sort of already an aligned document that is not official. And this is the final one, final question. Do you think it in a sort of adopted way, so something that is adopted and remains on the desk as adopted document for 10 years, or is something that can be continuously updated? Thank you very much, and sorry for the technical problems.
Let us appreciate this way. Okay. Our last presenter, also online, is Emmanuel Zai. Emmanuel Zai works is the CEO of Iwea County Zapwani. This is the Coastal Regional Economic Bloc. He used to be former CEO for the Vision 2020 Secretary. So let us welcome him.
Mr. Zai, are you there? Are you online? Anna? Okay, tunamtafuta. Sometimes you're online but you can't be seen. It's possible to be invisible. Okay, he's connecting, so let us give him a few minutes. What I only remember is that as Zai is connecting, as Jared was presenting, he told, there's a brother to Jared who tells me that Ugali Obushuma is actually for Kisis and not for Luyas. That it's Kisis and Luos who knew about Ugali first. But now I was wondering, all the maize is grown in Western Trans Nzoia. Then he told me in Kolomani, where I come from, there is no maize planting. So I don't know what we planted in Kolomani because it's actually maize. And then actually where I come from, where Bonikalole comes from, it is gold mine. So Kolomani means gold mine. So when the Mzungu was saying gold mine, so you can imagine when Isabel is talking, even the immediate presenter that we have just had, some of us were not hearing what he was saying. So when the Mzungu was saying gold mine, the Luyas were hearing the Kolomani. I don't know how those two are related. When he was saying it is good, the Luyas were hearing Isukuti. And they were dancing. So the Mzungu was enjoying the Isukuti and said, it is good, it is good, it is good. And we are saying Isukuti, Isukuti, Isukuti. So that is how it is. Zai, we are still waiting for you as we enjoy Isukuti. Otherwise, I'll go to the stage and start dancing Isukuti. I know there are many who would like me to dance Isukuti here, but I will be dancing shortly, maybe in a few hours' time. And some of you will start, we will open the dance with at least 2 men. I don't know how I'll manage. Okay, so the online, the virtual, we will participants, we will actually answer your questions. Thank you. Keep on bringing them on the chat. Our next moderator will deal with that. So keep on, yeah, his name. Yeah. Kindly unmute Zai. Okay. Is he unmuted? Zai, tupe dakika kama mbili hivi, natumai Kiswahili ndio mdomo chako. Kwa hivyo tupe dakika moja karibu niseme tukusort. Sijui kama hicho ni Kiswahili. Great, great. If you can unmute your video, Zai, would like to see you so that we identify with you as you're presenting. Great, great. Karibu sana Bwana Zai.
Thank you so much. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we hear you.
Okay, so thank you very much. I'm kind of on the run here to the airport, so my apologies, but it's good to have you in Jumuiya ya Kaunti za Pwani. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, proceed.
Can you hear me okay? Please confirm.
Yes, we hear.
Okay, very well. So thank you so much for this opportunity. I think the team which came before me, UN Habitat, has done very, very well, and I think you've gotten a glimpse of what the GoBlue project is all about and the interventions that they have. If you go to the next slide, so essentially, Jumuiya ya Kaunti za Pwani is the regional economic bloc which represents the 6 coastal counties. There is 7 in the country right now, and we're proud to have been the first. We are managed by a secretariat which I head, and essentially the mandates that we have are 4, coordinating the 6 coastal counties, and this is basically simply the collaboration, the cooperation towards regional economic development within the county mandates, the county constitutional mandates as they have them in strength and in weakness. Through that, basically, we do policy harmonization. So Salvatore started talking about it there in terms of how do you coordinate the 6 counties spatial planning for the SDF program when each one of them has its own jurisdiction, but in a guided way. So the regional economic bloc, basically, that's the mandate that they have, and the very foundational plan that we are coordinating, of course, is the spatial planning. The other ones is the CIDPs that they have, and the sector plans, the 10-year sector plans that they need to have. Beyond that, we do promotion, so it's promoting the regional assets. This is on terms of investments and tourism, and lastly, investments. So each county has some few investment projects, but collectively also the regional projects, which some of them turn out to be the Vision 2030 flagship projects, but nevertheless, they're in the region. To guide us through this, we have developed a regional economic blueprint, which is mimicked on the Vision 2030. And essentially, we're calling it the Jumuiya 2030, which we think we can basically have a transformational process going on for the region towards a middle-income and a shared prosperity for the region between now and the year 2030. We have the Jumuiya 10. These are the 10 priority areas which you can see. And in that, I think of your interest is how they're clustered within the economic pillar, the agribusiness, food and nutrition security, the trade and industry, the blue economy, natural resources and environment. The coastal urbanization is essentially where you have much of the interest, and of course land resource development and infrastructure. So that's what we have in terms of that. And out of this, this was basically the basis of the GoBlue project in terms of prioritization. We created this framework. We also created the blue economy regional sector strategy. And from that framework, the GoBlue project basically had to extract much of the interventions, which are some of them from UN Habitat you have had for. But of interest around this, as we coordinate our implementation mechanism, is we have a sector working group, which is essentially bringing together the CCs of each of the Jumuiya 10, the like of the UN Habitat and the UNEP interventions in terms of urbanization, spatial planning, that's the land and physical planning, and also the other one being the natural resources and environment as a sector working group, which this project is anchored on. Next slide, please. So through this framework, essentially we have the GoBlue project, which has the 3 specific objective areas, and each one of them, basically, European Union signed a contract with the implementing partners, who are member states of the European Union, with an exception, of course, of the UN Habitat and UNEP. So the first one is in enhancing sustained economic development. And this is really at the heart of the matter of the regional economic development blueprints. And we are focusing on the fisheries value chain, that is marine and aquaculture. Italy is leading that. A very good framework there where they will be supporting more than 5,000 fishermen. These are marine fisheries. We have mapped out 9 beach management units from Kwale all the way to Lamu, which we'll be focusing on for them to get boats, to get capacity building, to get equipment, and handhold them over the next 3 years for economic development. And then Germany has aquaculture. It also has Tibet, where they're training youth, upskilling, and micro, small, medium enterprises. Portugal is doing tourism, culture, and heritage. And some portions of leadership, this is youth leadership through the Ubuntu Leaders Academy. Some of you may be participating of it or have heard of it. The specific objective 2 is the one that you have had today, and you will probably continue to add in your engagement with UN Habitat and UNEP. I don't need to go much into that. And the last one is maritime security with France. Now, of interest of the maritime security and to what we are doing, and also to UN Habitat, is the CAMSET program, which is going to be doing the marine spatial planning. And I'm sure some of our colleagues from CAMFRI are there to have this conversation. So I think in a nutshell, that is what we have. That's what we have. I think for critical right now in this conversation is what Salvatore asked, of really how do we get to do this and be able to have the spatial development framework, and for us to be able to plan accordingly. Kenya has the National Spatial Plan, which is from the 2018 to 2045, and of interest there is it has clustered 2 regions. This is the coastal region, which is the Jumuiya counties of one and the 6 coastal counties, and the western region has the very high growth potential areas. Of interest of that, of course, is the blue economy. The Lake Victoria is a blue economy zone, and our ocean is a blue economy zone. But for us to be able to do that, there's some very fundamentals around it. The county governments are new; they're just in their 8th, 9th year, going to the 10th. We're moving to a new set of political leadership, where it's going to be the next 10 years. We're rolling new political leadership in that cycle. It was a vision that at this point, each county would have their county integrated development plans mapped out to the Vision 2030, which is the 5-year plan, the MTP, and then the longer one. And then they would have 10-year sector plans by each sector. Most counties do not have these right now. Also, they would have the county spatial plans. In our region, it is only Lamu which has finished its spatial plan. The rest are in different stages. So if we are to take this conversation now in terms of spatial development framework, and I think the ask from our side that we had for UN Habitat in this in the GoBlue projects was to simply request that they support the counties to complete their county spatial plans in the next 3 years. That will create basically the framework for the SDF. Because as we can see right now, there is municipalities being built across the counties. Taita Taveta has the Motate, there is Voi, which is at different stages in Kilifi, there is Mtwapa, there is the Malindi. All of them at very, very different stages. But I think the worry is we cannot be focusing on just the small cities out there. We need to be able to have a comprehensive framework, and that is found in the county spatial plans that need to be done. So through that, to answer again Salvatore's question, in this framework that we have between the regional economic blocks and the county governments, as long as the county government finishes its spatial plan, there is no reason why we cannot not have, through the economic bloc, we have arrangements in this collaboration with Lamu and Tana River and the other counties for us to be able to harmonize that around the sealand planning and the marine spatial planning, and through that then we have the SDF. So I think this conversation is very, very is coming in at a very critical moment when the UN Habitat and UNEP in the GoBlue, they're just finalizing the inception report and validation process, where this forum of the experts who are here from regional, national outlook, regional outlook, and of course county level, with all our 6 counties there. I believe most of them are participating and they're listening. The CC is in charge of physical planning. I think this is a conversation which is starting off at a good stage, where probably we would be able to accelerate the county spatial planning process and the sector planning, and of course then we get to an implementation model which is beneficial to the public. So I think on my end, I just want to thank you very much, and invite you more to engage with UN Habitat and the UNEP for us to build this partnership, and so that we can come up with probably at a national level, but also county and regional level on how we get to approach this. Thank you so much, and over to you.